And GG, and I'm gonna pause the game right here. And MYM has 69 creep kills, all hero kills. All right, 69. All right, so there's a lot I want to talk about in this post-game commentary. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is just how phenomenal MYM played that gang strat. They played it almost to perfection. Some of their item choices were a bit sketchy. You know, we got Tiny with a Guinsu now. It looks like Milk finished off with a Guinsu, a Manta style, Lothers, and a 4-staff. You will probably never see this on a Tiny ever again. Excuse me. Usually Tinys go into Blink Dagger, into Assault Cuirass, or Shiva's Guard. And that's because Tiny has such great DPS potential, whereas Milk has opted to go into this attack speed potential without, he's not really tanking, but he's just getting a lot of attack speed, using Manta style to just deal a bunch of damage, you know, soak up some damage from enemy heroes. So it kind of works in a sense, but it's just a very expensive build, and I don't think it's as cost effective for Tiny as getting a Shiva's Guard or an Assault Cuirass, because when Shiva's Guard gives you a bunch of mana, slows down the AoE attack speed. It doesn't seem like they have many DPS heroes on the Sentinel, so it might have been it's a moderately heads-up play not to opt for Shiva. Their only true DPS would have been Razor, where you know, Nerubian Assassin, Necrolite, Lion, and Crystal Maiden don't really DPS, so Shiva's Guard won't be as effective. Clockwork didn't get the early ult stick, so he got a 4-staff. I think he should have just rushed a Vanguard and then got a BKB, because there were many times where all the costs just ended up feeding, where I think he would have actually been able to survive and just, you know, stand there and use his battery assault a bit longer if he had a Vanguard. And it looks like three 4-staffs is a bit overkill, in my opinion. I think they were just kind of fooling around at that point. Mania playing a phenomenal game, landing some very key hooks. He got a very early Aghanim Scepter, and you saw how he would go into ganks with half HP, but by the time he finished devouring, he'd have full HP once again. So that's the power of ult stick. Very underrated in the pub scene on Pudge. So very well done by Mania to farm up an early Aghanim Scepter. And it looks like a lot of the heroes have Boots of Travels on MYM, and Boots of Travels on 4 heroes essentially means you know, global gank. You'll see the global gank. You know, it's kind of a strat in a sense, where you just tell everyone on your team to get Boots of Travels, and you're just able to gank so easily. In this case, you know, they really just won the game in the mid game. They MYM sealed it in the mid game. They played a phenomenal mid game, and they didn't really have to opt for the Boots of Travels. If it was a bit closer game, I think Boots of Travels would have played a more crucial role in ganking. However, since they played a phenomenal mid game and just solidified their victory there, Boots of Travels wasn't as crucial, but you know, it's a nice item to have. We have Playmate, you know, 4-staff, and a Scotty. So Scotty was also a pretty heads-up play, I think. She knew that she would be target from Nerubian Assassin's Vendetta Impale combo, and she was actually able to soak up a lot of damage because of that. You know, Scotty gives you so much stats. You got a point booster and 2 ultimate orbs going into it, so you know, it better give you a bunch of stats. And so a pretty heads up item buy from Playmate. And Pusher, just playing a phenomenal game, phenomenal warding, phenomenal ganking, just playing his Venge to, he played a very good Venge, early game Venge, and that's really where Venge is really stellar, is the early to mid game, so Pusher played his part very well. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the Sentinel team, and I can't really bash them. I'm actually going to say they just got outpicked, or their strategy just wasn't strong enough to deal with MYM. They played a good game in the sense that they stuck together. They often stuck together as a team, because they knew if they sent their forces in piecemeal like MYM was doing, they would definitely get picked off very easily. So very well done by the Sentinel to at least stay together, and you know, united we're strong. I guess that was their motto of that entire game. And as I said, Crystal Maiden and Lion, you know, they're just really fragile heroes. They ended up feeding a lot, but but you know, the MYM strat, you know, that's what they banked on. They saw Crystal Maiden and Lion being picked, and they're like, you know, we got food on the play, and they just went for a heavy gank strat. Whereas, and then I think the Necrolite pick was actually very good. If Necrolite played more of a tank, I mean, I think his tanking potential wasn't that great. I think he should have opted to get an early Vanguard and a pipe. And I saw a Mystic Staff on him, so I think he was trying to make like a Gwinsu or a Shivas or something to just, you know, give his team a little heads up there. But I think if he just made a Vanguard and tried to tank a bit more, it would have been better. I think Razor, he got a Manta, but he kind of had to get the Manta. He was the only carry on the team. He fed a lot, you know, so getting a Vanguard and then a Hood, he wouldn't really be able to DPS. He would have no carrying, you know, prowess on him. So I think getting the Manta, he was kind of forced to get the Manta because he was the only carry on the team. Ruby and Assassin playing a pretty good game, ganking heroes, getting you know, key kills, killing heroes on MYM before they're able to really do much of anything. The only problem was MYM just had they played a phenomenal game. You know, Lacoste getting some really key cogs, as well as he played a very offensive game. You see, he's 7, 15, and 22. There's a reason why he has 22 assists there and 15 deaths. It's because he played a very aggressive game, and that's how you have to play Clockwork. However, the only problem I have with this is he didn't have any tanking items when he played this aggressive game. Usually, you'll see an early Vanguard on Clockwork, so you can, you know, so you don't die every time you play aggressively. You know, instead we saw an early Force Staff, and then we saw a BKB very late in the game. I think if he went Vanguard into BKB, he would have survived many of those team fights, and he would have actually this game would have probably been over much quicker. You know, it's almost 51 minutes. This game would have probably been done in like 45 minutes if he got a Vanguard and then a BKB straight after that. So I don't know, maybe it was their strat to just, you know, get a bunch of Force Staffs to escape from Razor, because Razor is a ridiculously fast hero. Another thing is that they probably got Force Staffs to help their teammates escape from ganks. You guys saw that, you know, Tiny was using his Force Staff to save Venge a lot. You see Venge swapping out heroes trying to save them. So, you know, I guess it was strat in itself, just get Force Staff to, you know, escape this deadly, you know, chain, you know, this, you know, Crystal Maiden, Lion, and Ruby and Assassin can just chain heroes to death. So there really isn't much to say about this game. It was just a super, you know, gank-intensive game. Very well played by MYM. All I can say is they didn't go for this, you know, this mid-game push strat that they usually make, where they have, you know, all lanes being pushed simultaneously at one time. Instead, they took a lane down by, you know, one at a time. They stuck together as a team as well. So they really dictated the tide of the game by ganking a lot and forcing the Sentinel team to stick together. And then they started also, then the MYM similarly started staying together, and just, you know, they start and with Tiny, if the enemy team just sticks together like a clump of rice, Tiny can just avalanche toss them and just destroy them. And that's basically what happened. You know, Tiny's toss just does so much damage when he gets his level 16 ult, and MYM just really capitalized on the situation. They dictated the tide of the battle, and then they reacted accordingly to what they saw, and that's really all that I have to say, I guess. So once again, leave any comments, suggestions, and things like that, guys. Sorry for any bursts of hair from the mic. I can hear it myself when I'm speaking, so sorry about that. Well, anyways, this is restocker signing off. Until next time, GG. Hope you guys enjoyed.